Happy Monday, friends. I just came from school. It was sad. I went into class to get some things so that I could teach you guys at home and some new read alouds because we'll be done this book pretty soon. I'm going to be outside today working because it's such a gorgeous day. So I hope you guys get outside too. You have work today and tomorrow, and then you would have spring break. So just check out the work online, do your check-ins. If you didn't have a chance to finish your point of view from last week, whenever you finish it, please get it over to me. You can do that through Google Slides, Google Docs, email it, whatever's easiest. All right, so today's restart, to recap from last week, Chase and Shoshana went to Shoshana's house to, she needed to back up her files from their interviewing Mr. Solway. And he got caught in the bushes, in the picky bush, and Mrs. Weber is trying to help him now because he got caught in that picky bush and he's all cut up. So let's see where this takes us. Good dog, Mitzi, is Joel's comment. I turned to Mrs. Weber. I'm sorry for the disturbance. I came closer to hear the music, and when the dog attacked, I fell in the bushes, added Joel. You're really good. He doesn't answer. His mother looks me over critically. You're bleeding. And then, I guess we can't let you walk around like that. She drags me into the kitchen and washes all my cuts and scratches with antiseptic. The good news is, Mitzi's bite didn't break the skin. The bad news is, every thorn and branch did. It's the worst agony I can remember since I fell off the roof, and I can't shake the feeling that Mrs. Weber is loving supplying it. It's the first time I've ever seen Joel smile. Even Shoshana's grinning a little, although she tries to disguise it with some sympathy. I don't know what's worse, the pain or the reason they're enjoying watching me suffer. The next time I'm outside the Weber house waiting for Shoshana to back up our work, I keep my distance. Joel's playing the piano again. I hear it. I can actually see him at the keys through the side window. He glances up, spots me, and gets to his feet. I'm thinking, oh man, I'm in trouble now. He's going to sick the dog on me again. Or worse, his mom. Then he does the last thing I ever expected. He reaches over, opens the window, and goes back to his practicing. If I didn't know better, I'd swear he wants me to listen. At school, lunch is turning into the most stressful part of my day. I've been altering my cafeteria time, one day at the football table with Aaron Bear and the Hurricanes, and the next across the lunchroom with the video club. I take a lot of flack from the team, who can't understand me hanging out with Dork Nation. I realize the players joke around a lot, but it's starting to sound less and less like joking. Even when I'm with the video club, it's awkward because Joel's there. We're not friends, but we both run with the same crowd. Usually I sit at one end of the table and Joel sits at the opposite side. One day, though, he comes late, and the only seat left is right next to me. At first, I think he's going to bolt for the far end of the cafeteria to make a statement that he'd rather eat in another zip code than to sit next to me. And he does hesitate a little. Eventually, though, he gives in and sits his tray down next to mine. Everybody else is looking at us like there's about to be a major war, but nothing happens. Still, a couple of days later, the others make sure there's a spot for Joel, nice and far from me. None of this escapes the watchful attention of Aaron and Bear. I get that you hang out with the video dweebs now, Aaron tells me, but him? Joel Weber? It's thanks to him that we got put on community service. Yeah, and we never did anything to him, I retort sarcastically. Okay, fine, says Bear, but how were we supposed to know that he was going to cry to Mommy? We booby-trapped his piano in an auditorium full of people, I bark. I think his mommy would have noticed without him ratting us out. All right, you made your point, Aaron soothes. It wasn't the nicest thing to do, and we're paying the price for it, aren't we? It's over. Forget it. And why, Joel, huh? I go on. I know you think all the kids at the school who don't play football are either dweebs, wimps, or losers. But how he's different from everybody else? Because he's small? Because he's talented? Bear explodes. Why don't you ask yourself? You're the one who picked him. You used to be the fun guy. You did forget that too? We did what we did because it was fun, and the more Weber lost his mind, the funnier it was, especially to you. Did it feel great when we heard he was going to the other school? No. But by then, we were headed for the Gray Bird Motel, so who cared where they sent him? I can feel the color draining from my face. That might be the closest I'll ever get to understanding how my brain worked before the accident. I may not like it, but it's me. That afternoon, Shoshana and I finished the final edit on our entry for the contest. We've titled it Warrior. Neither of us can wait to play it for Mr. Solway, but we make the usual stop at the Weber home for Shoshana to pack up our work. Like always, I wait on the lawn while Shoshana heads to into the house. She pauses in the doorway and tosses a look over her shoulder. Aren't you coming? A million questions whirl through my head. Did I hear her right? Is she kidding? Will her mom kill me? Her brother? Her dog? Yet somehow I know that if I ask any of them, I'll spoil it and the opportunity will be lost forever. So I follow her into the house. Mrs. Weber sees me first. She stares at me for a second and then goes back to the book she's reading. In the living room, Joel's at the piano as usual. He glances up at me and the music comes to a momentary halt. He takes a long, hard look and then goes back to his concerto. I'm not sure why, but I feel an odd, surge emotion, and I have to swallow hard a couple of times. Even Mitzi wags her tail. So I would say that this is a breaking point for the Webers in this story. I'm sure it was not easy accepting him into their home, especially after everything that he did to Joel. I will read more tomorrow. I'm not going to read over spring break, so I'll read today and tomorrow, and then I won't read again until next week after spring break's over. So I hope you guys are doing great. If you have any questions, let me know, and I hope to see you guys soon. I really, really, really miss you, so I hope we get back into the classroom soon. Take care.